Star Wars Andor is our next live-action TV series in the Star Wars universe. But who is Anton Lesser playing in this show? We'll break down who he might be playing and what this means for not only the Star Wars series, but the entire Star Wars universe going forward. Greetings my young Padawans, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Star Wars Now. Star Wars Andor will be coming out on Disney Plus on the 31st of August 2022, so it is time to start theorising on what we might expect from the series. Of course, one big reveal from the Andor trailer is that actor Anton Lesser will be in the series in an undisclosed role. However, we might know who he's actually playing. Before we jump into the video, use the force and hit that subscribe and like button to never miss a video from myself and the team here at Star Wars Now. As always, if you're talking about Star Wars, then of course we want to hear about it. Okay, so let's get into it. Anton Lesser is a well-known actor. He's been in numerous TV series, mostly British, and going into series like Game of Thrones, where he played Qyburn, a band maester of the Citadel, and eventually Hand of the Queen to Cersei Lannister. It looks like this premise of an evil character with too much power continues into the Andor show. The only scene we see of Anton Lesser so far in the numerous trailers we've received is him at the head of a circular round table, which also includes white-clothed Imperial officers. Now this could be the Select Committee of COMPNOR, the committee which monitors the progress of major organisations under COMPNOR, which we'll get into in just a moment. So don't worry if you are confused, because it's a weird anagram. But first, what do Imperial officers of white clothes and a white uniform mean in the Star Wars universe? Well, we have seen white-clothed uniformed officers before, with Walt and director Erson Krennic. These white-clothed officers were usually part of intelligence or operations in the Empire, compared to the grey uniform officers who were just officers of Imperial Navy or other things. But one faction of the Empire, which has hardly been shown in live-action Star Wars but has had numerous appearances in ancillary media, is COMPNOR, otherwise known as the Commission for the Preservation of the New Order. Now COMPNOR is essentially a political tool of the Empire, used to disseminate information throughout the galaxy to keep the people in line and support their totalitarian governments. There are also such organisations within COMPNOR that assist us with a goal in different ways, such as the Coalition of Progress, which work towards the Empire's public image and is also responsible for the cultural progress of the Empire. The Sub-Adult Group, which was basically the Hitler Youth of the Empire. This was a program for youth to drive endless loyalty to the Empire and to the Emperor into them, with a set curriculum and track into the political service, presumably to flood the political system with hardcore loyalists, eventually replacing the most hesitant members who remained from the old days of the Republic. ComForce, which is a military group within COMPNOR, because every branch of the Empire needs a military group, and I would like to think that maybe we've seen in the Andor trailers already, perhaps the Imperial officers of black sleeves among this group. Maybe that's how they're distinguished, we won't know just yet. Not only were they normal soldiers of the military group, but also loyalty officers who watched over the loyalty of the Empire's workers. And talking of loyalty, we have to talk about the Imperial Security Bureau, otherwise known as the ISB, as they're the most well-known faction of COMPNOR, as the intelligent branch of the Galactic Empire, headed up at one point by Walt, as we said, and one of agents who would not only spy, but also lead troops into certain situations, much like Agent Kallus from Star Wars Rebels. So, what does it mean for Anton Lesser to play the head of COMPNOR? Well, he'd be playing Armand Issard in the show. Perhaps he's the eventual target of a Cassian in the series. I mean sure, it would be a big enough target, and help ensure the embers of rebellion are not snuffed out. If COMPNOR suffers a hit like the death of its leader, it would decrease the Empire's propaganda tools, make them less efficient, and help people see the Galactic Empire's ugly truth. But what do we know of Armand Issard? Well, in canon, not a lot, because he was originally a character from Star Wars Legends. But let's first touch on what we do know of him in canon to get you up to date. He was made the director of COMPNOR in 15 BBY, 10 years before the Andor show will take place. He was described as having raven black hair, so if there's a little detail that gets retconned, or the stress of working for the head of a political arm of the Empire, probably graze you quickly. I mean, it is a fascist government after all. And, well, that's all we know in canon. He was only brought over from Legends to canon instead of making a new character, by author James Luceno in the Tarkin novel, because he fit the story that Luceno was writing for the novel. So, we should probably talk about Armand Issard in Star Wars Legends, because they might bring over aspects of his character into canon. That is if Anton Lesser is actually playing this role like we suspect. Before and during the Clone Wars, Armand Issard was a friend of Sheev Palpatine, and would become part of his inner circle, becoming a member of the Security and Intelligence Council, a war council made up of the Chancellor's most trusted advisors. When the Galactic Empire was formed, Issard would assist with the cleanup of Order 66, finding and eliminating Jedi survivors and assisting the likes of Darth Vader and the Inquisitors in seeking out Jedi relics and related material. Issard would groom his daughters for a life as an intelligence operative, but as she gained power and respect, he feared she might overthrow him, so he set on a mission that was likely to fail. However, his daughter, Issard, would eventually realise this and frame Issard for treason, thus he would be executed. The interesting thing about Issard in Legends is he has a streak of white hair, but would wear a red uniform. Perhaps this is something we've not seen in canon, but I will say I do prefer the white, black and grey style of the Empire. Sure, we may get different types of stormtroopers in every new story, I'm looking at you the Rise of Skywalker, but I do hope they stick with the current Imperial uniforms as they kinda look best. Looking at the tale of Issard, perhaps they will do something similar, and Cassian might help Issard's daughter get rid of him. They might be on opposite sides, but a chance to take out an Imperial director by siding with his Imperial daughter might not be a bad plan. I'd also love if Cassian and Issard were successful in this plan, but Issard would be replaced by Issard, his daughter, and proved even more tyrannical leader of a political manipulative branch of the Empire. Surely this would drive out Andor as a character, and make it even more understandable to want to assassinate Galen Erso in Rogue One. He has worked with an Imperial before, which only worsened things. Thinking more about the theory above, an actress is playing an unknown female Imperial officer in the trailer for Andor. Actress Denise Gough is seen in a white Imperial uniform, escorted by 2 Death Troopers. We know high-ranking officers in the Empire have Death Troopers as their escorts, so perhaps this does hold up for Andor and just give a clue to who she's actually playing. But anyway, what do you think about our theory for Anton Lesser and who he might be playing in the upcoming Star Wars Andor series? It would be really cool to expand the role of Armand Issard into the Star Wars canon. But then again, new characters are also cool and interesting. Take director Krennic. His introduction was fantastic, and it's a shame he was only in one movie. Either way, we'll learn more over the next few weeks in the run-up to Star Wars Andor, which airs on August 31st on Disney+, with 2 episodes. Yes, you heard me right, 2 episodes. Alright, Exalted Ones, that's it myself. Do let me know what you thought of our theories today, as they're pretty cool. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news, lore, and more. You can also follow us on social media as well. Please let us know what you think in the video comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Wars, then of course we want to hear about it. That's it for myself today on Star Wars Now. I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. May the Force be with you.